Well, the things that I experienced with him were monster-like. That stuff almost destroyed my life.
What if everything we thought we knew about hip-hop's most legendary rivalry was a carefully crafted illusion? What if the West Coast versus East Coast era wasn't just a culture war, but a controlled game of power, influence, and silent manipulation behind the curtain? And what if one of the most beloved icons in rap, a man known for his authenticity and independence, was never truly free to begin with? Tonight, we dive into a bombshell revelation, a story whispered for years in the dark corners of the music industry.
So why should I care? He did a whole lot of shit to a whole lot of people, and now he's paying for it. So all these cats, I guess y'all get y'all visitation rights. Some of y'all can get y'all conjugal visits right with him. I don't give a
History, now finally being spoken out loud by a man who says he lived through every moment of it. Gene Deal, the former right-hand bodyguard to Sean Diddy Combs, has stepped forward once again. And this time, the truth he's revealing has global fans stunned. Because according to Gene, Snoop Dogg, the Dogfather himself, wasn't always calling the shots. He claims Snoop didn't just escape Death Row Records, he was handed over. Positioned. Controlled. Played like a pawn, in a game far bigger than anyone realized. And the puppet master behind it all? Diddy. Gene calls it the greatest deception in rap history, and says the truth has always been in plain sight. But before we unravel the strings, we need to understand the man daring to expose them. Gene Deal wasn't just a random employee. For years, he was inside the very room where decisions were made that shaped pop culture. He saw the alliances, the betrayals, the fear, the weekend flights on private jets, and the backroom meetings that never made the headlines. He was there the night Biggie died. He was there during the chaos that followed. And he claims he witnessed the industry's darkest power plays firsthand. So why speak now?
And he was gang related, so it was like our first meeting was on bad terms because we were still gang affiliated and we were using gang terminology on the introduction.
Gene claims Diddy saw an opportunity, taking a West Coast icon and reshaping him for a Hollywood-friendly, universal audience. And if you follow the timeline, the argument becomes chillingly convincing. Almost immediately after leaving Death Row, Snoop Dogg's image shifted. The gangsta persona took a back seat. Out came the talk shows, the sitcoms, the commercials, the family-friendly endorsements, and the entire transformation of Snoop into America's beloved icon. A transformation
so him
Gene
being
insists
neutral in the
was
beginning
designed,
was amazing, and then him
not
choosing
organic.
sides at the end was a
He
demise.
says Snoop was strategically molded to benefit people behind the scenes, and Diddy was at the top of that food chain. But here's where things get darker. Gene suggests that Snoop's new path wasn't chosen by him, it was chosen for him. To become a brand mascot. A figurehead. Someone who could sell anything, without ever questioning the hand that fed him. In Gene's own words, Snoop wasn't the boss, he was the product. And the industry embraced that product like gold. Snoop and Diddy suddenly went from rivals to co-stars. Award shows, red carpets, parties, they stood together. Projects that elevated Diddy's influence always seemed to include Snoop in some form. As Snoop made the world laugh, Diddy made the money flow. They became a symbol of hip-hop's new power era, corporate, profitable, safe, controllable. But control always has a price. Gene claims that whenever Diddy needed support, Snoop was right there. Whether it was a music moment, a televised reunion, or a viral interview, Snoop always played the role perfectly. Too perfectly, Gene insists.
Both on her personal story and on things she observed with Cass. But, I don't think same as blowing up Kid Cudi's car if the jury believed that Diddy did it. I don't think it's the same as,
Like someone following a script. Behind the scenes, the whispers never stopped. Music journalists questioned how Snoop managed to slide away from Death Row untouched. Lawyers asked who negotiated his release. Fans wondered why Snoop rarely criticized Diddy even when everyone else did. Why he defended him. Protected him. Smiled in every picture, even when scandals swarmed like vultures.
Specifically challenges allegations suggest that Mr. Combs and his involvement in the 2018 of his former partner, Kim Porter, whose passing was officially attributed to natural causes. Los Angeles County coroner.
Gene says that's because Snoop owed him. Not financially, but contractually, strategically, politically. Because the moment Snoop left death row alive, he was indebted. And Diddy made sure those debts were paid. If you look carefully over the years, anytime Diddy faced a crisis, whether it was legal trouble, public backlash, or explosive allegations, Snoop stayed loyal. His voice always echoed support, never judgment. Even now, as Diddy faces the harshest spotlight of his career, Snoop has remained quiet. Very quiet. Too quiet. Gene is now asking the question the world avoided for decades: was Snoop really free? Or did he simply switch masters? Fans online are stunned. Some deny it fiercely. Snoop is independent. Snoop is self-made. Others lean toward Gene's side, pointing to patterns, moments, and interviews where Snoop seemed almost guarded when discussing Diddy. Comment sections are overflowing with debate. Is this the real reason Snoop survived the most dangerous era in hip-hop? Gene insists we've only seen the surface. He claims Snoop's career wasn't saved by fate, but by a man who knew exactly how valuable he was. And when you're valuable, someone always owns the rights. In this world, he says, freedom comes with a price tag.
I feel good, man. I feel good way before the sentencing, and I'm gonna feel good way after it. You know what I'm saying? That the sentencing don't have anything to do with how I feel. It just goes me to show that tells me when God puts you in a position and puts you in a place to be involved in something, his word ain't never wrong.
And if someone pays it, they expect something in return. But if all of this is true, then the next question becomes terrifying. What happens if Snoop finally stops playing his role? What happens if he turns against the man who Gene says controlled him for decades? Because loyalty only lasts as long as the silence does. And right now, silence is cracking. Snoop Dogg stands today as a global icon.
I have never seen, until Kendrick now, I'd never seen anybody from where I'm from, the area I'm from, the place I'm from, do what Snoop did.
Loved across generations, industries, and cultures. But Gene Deal wants us to ask a question we've never dared to ask. How much of Snoop Dogg's success was his, and how much belonged to someone else?